Michael, don't you say that nickname either.
His Honor, the administrator is without.
Let His Honor the Administrator be admitted.
There tomorrow, Jimmy. Or the day after. That's the problem. If you hone in that question today. Bill?
Members be seated.
His Honor wishes that members be seated.
May it please Your Honor, the General Assembly of the Province has at its present session passed certain bills to which, in the name and on behalf of the General Assembly, I respectfully request Your Honor's assent.
An act respecting the price of petroleum products. An act respecting the provision of ambulance services and emergency health services. An act to authorize a marketing and promotions levy in the town of Yarmouth and the municipality of the District of Yarmouth. An act to amend the Elections Act. An act to facilitate interjurisdictional policing in certain circumstances. An act to amend the Youth Justice Act and the Motor Vehicle Act. An act respecting the administration of justice. An act to amend the Liquor Control Act. An act to amend the Public Service Act and to establish the Office of Immigration. An act respecting the practice of paramedicine. An act to amend the Université Saint-Anne Collège de l'Acadie Act. An act to change the name of the University College of Cape Breton and to amend the University College of Cape Breton Act. An act to amend the Special Places Protection Act. An act to amend the Public Utilities Act. An act to amend the Education Act. An act to amend the Securities Act. An act respecting the bee industry. An act to amend the Farm Registration Act. An act to amend the Auditor General Act. An act respecting certain financial measures. An act respecting support services for disabled persons in self-managed care. An act to amend the Municipal Government Act. An act to amend the Assessment Act and the Municipal Government Act. An act to establish a day to recognize Alexander Graham Bell. An act to amend the Fisheries and Coastal Resources Act. An act respecting the Halifax-Dartmouth Bridge Commission. An act to amend the Children and Family Services Act. An act to amend the Securities Act. An act to repeal the Camp Hill Foundation Act, the Victoria General Hospital Foundation Act. An act to amend the Provincial Finance Act. An act to amend the Workers' Compensation Act. An act to amend the Health Authorities Act.
In Her Majesty's name, I assent to these bills.
Your Honor, having been graciously pleased to give your assent to the bills passed during the present session, it becomes my agreeable duty on behalf of Her Majesty's dutiful and loyal subjects, her faithful Commons of Nova Scotia, to present to your Honor a bill for the appropriation of supply granted in the present session for the support of the public service and to request your Honor's assent thereto.
An act to provide for defraying certain charges and expenses of the public service of the province.
In Her Majesty's name, I thank her loyal subjects. I accept their benevolence and assent to this bill.
Okay, turn around and follow you. Go ahead. Turn around.
Honor, the Speaker.
Thank you. Please be seated. Just before we close, I just want to take the opportunity to thank all members for their working together during this session. It's made it quite enjoyable for myself, and I'd like to thank the members and wish all the members and their families a very happy and safe summer. I'd ask all members now to please rise and join me in the singing of our national anthem, please. Thank you. Please be seated. I think that gets better each time. That's my opinion, that's right. Recognize the Honorable the Premier.
Mr. Speaker and members, I move the General Assembly be adjourned to meet again at the call of the Speaker.
Is it agreed? Agreed. The House will adjourn to the call of the Speaker. Thank you.